Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the next phase of my declutter series. And today is going to be really hard for me personally because y'all know I'm a powder girl. I love a quality powder. I have oily skin, bossy pores, and powder is the only thing that keeps my ish together. And the cup runneth over when it comes to how many I have collected over time, and it's excessive. I can't possibly go through all of these powders. Some of these I've not touched at all in months and months and months. So since I started this series, I have made myself go through this particular drawer and try just about everything. I think I have touched everything to see what worked for me during the day, what didn't, what lasted, what made me look cakey through the day, what just made my eyes crease or crepe or whatever they do. So I feel like this is kind of like an unsexy part of a makeup collection, maybe, the powders, but truly it's one of the things that I know a lot of my oily skin friends rely on to keep our stuff together. So this one's gonna be hard for me. Okay, friends, grab your tea, grab your snack, grab your limoncello water, get comfy because we're gonna do a full declutter. And if I have time, I might do brows. Too. Cheers. I am so excited to share with you guys that this portion of today's video is sponsored by Cupshe. Cupshe has been a long time supporter of my small little channel here, and I am so grateful that I get to bring you guys a discount on some of these amazing summer outfits that I cannot wait to wear. First, let's start at the top here with this adorable tropical leaf print one shoulder mini dress. It comes in pink and it comes in white, and I am obsessed with this white one because I love the blue and the pops of it. It is some of my favorite colors, as you can probably tell by my beauty space where I've got some decor going. This is so much fun. You can dress this up with a fun little hat. You could dress this up with some sunglasses, a fun bag, sandals. I feel like this could be a little casual, but also just that elevated nice casual, but you could also clearly wear this out for a date night. Super cute and super festive. Next is the abstract leaf print smocked cami jumpsuit. You guys, jumpsuits are having a moment right now and I'm living for it. These are super duper comfortable. I love the wide leg and I love that it gives a little bit of forgiveness in the midsection, in the booty area and thighs, because let's be serious, we're maybe not all totally summer ready, and that's okay. I love that these are adjustable straps. That helps so much for your girl because I am a little bit bustier and I do love to still be comfortable. I'm wearing a strapless bra with this and I think it is super comfy. Dress this up with some sandals, a fun bag, and you are so good to go. And it's $31.99. Totally a great deal. And the fabric is so breathable. I think it's great. Oh my gosh, you guys, when I tell you I have wanted this next dress, I've actually wanted this dress for a really long time. And every time I went to order it, it was out of stock because it is so in demand. This is the Araya V-neck lace-up slip dress. This comes in white and a cream shade. I got the cream shade here and it is so comfortable and so stunning. This is like an outfit that's super elevated and you don't need to do a lot of work to make it look nice. Pop on some sunglasses. I again love that the straps are adjustable and it has a slip underneath, so you don't have to worry about anything being shown. Everything is concealed and I absolutely love that. This is so flowy, so frilly. This is the perfect summer outfit. I will say I wish I would have gone down to a smaller size. This is a little bit more forgiving than I expected, which is a great thing to have. It does fit the bust well, but also it conceals. I think I wish I would have gone with a large with this. I do go off my measurements with Cupshe because I love that everything is so well made, and this is absolutely a staple for me this summer. Okay, can we please talk about my next favorite jumpsuit of the summer, the cotton smock tube jumpsuit. This is $29.99, and you guys, this is forgiving. I love when something can really be cinched at the waist. This can allow for an hourglass look, even if maybe you don't have an hourglass figure naturally. This gives you the illusion of it. I think this is super comfortable. I also love that this baby has pockets. You can dress this up with some fun shoes, some heels. Again, I love that it is forgiving in the midsection, in the booty, and in the thighs. I think this is so cute and comfortable.
I love how it breathed. I love how thin the fabric was. This is something I'm going to be wearing a ton this summer. Dress it up to go out. Also dress it down. Just be more casual with it. I love pieces like that are versatile for the summer. Would also be great for an upcoming vacation. This next outfit is the cutout cami maxi dress. You guys, this gives me all of those summer Greek goddess vibes. It's got that empire waist that's a little bit higher, so it is going to be very forgiving for my friends in the audience that maybe need some tummy concealing, maybe some booty concealing, and I love the side slits. They're not too high at all, but they give you this nice flow to the movement of the dress. I love that part of it. I love the silhouette of this dress. I think it's not only going to be very Greek goddess vibes for the summer, but very forgiving. I would almost use this as a swimsuit cover-up, honestly. When I tell you this dress is what I am wearing right now in this video, it is obviously apparent. This is the floral paisley sleeveless dress, and y'all, this is $24.99. This is new. It comes in 3 different colors. I also want the white. I have the teal version, and they also have a black. I love this. This is super airy, but it conceals everything. This darker color here, the teal, I don't have to worry about, hi Cooper, you're so cute. I don't have to worry about you seeing my undergarments. I feel like this is super airy. I also love that it has a tie around the waist, so you can create a little bit more of a silhouette, because sometimes billowy, fluffy things can maybe add a little bit of the weight in the midsection that we don't even really have. So I love that it cinches in. I love how comfortable this is. Dressing this up is super easy with the hat, some fun features. The elastic in this is very quality. I love that I feel like I'm completely concealed and everything is super light. Okay guys, I already have this jumpsuit in another color. You've probably seen this on my channel already. This is the Demetria square neck smock jumpsuit. I have this in green, and this is the black. I loved it so much and got so many compliments on it. I wanted the black because I feel like the black is that next elevated sleek look for this jumpsuit. It has pockets, it has adjustable shoulders, it has a very nice top to it that I feel like I am still concealed, and it still cinches at the waist a bit, so that way, again, we're creating a nice silhouette. We're creating a nice playful vibe for summer, but it has that next, because it's black, it feels like it's that next sophisticated look with it. I love it so much. Great for a beach day, great for going out, great for dinners. This is my second one of these in another color. I love it that much, you guys, and that is a huge endorsement. I love working with Cupshe, you guys. I feel like they are a great brand to work with. They give you guys a discount every time. Use my code Fisher15 to get 15% off of all of your orders, $65 or more. So I hope you guys take an opportunity to check out the links down below. They also have some sales going on up to 70% off, all kinds of great things. And thank you so much to Cupshe for sponsoring this portion of today's video.
Y'all, look at everything in here. I have quite a bit. When I said the cup runneth over, I wasn't kidding. I have so many caddies completely stocked full to the sides. Everything is full. I have the things that were supposed to be compacts over there, and then the loose powder over here. It's just gone crazy in here. And there's more like face palettes in here that I didn't realize, kind of hidden in the back. I have a lot to go through with you guys today. I kind of figured that could happen where things got tucked into other areas, because you know, when you get a makeup collection, some things get moved around. I'm a little anxious about it. So let's just dive right in. I'm just kind of going through all these, pulling stuff out. Some stuff you knew I love and use. Some stuff you may not even know I've had in my collection. You probably noticed this. And I honestly don't remember if this was part of my face palette declutter earlier. This is my Tarte Park Avenue Princess. I do have one more of these. These are no longer sold, and I don't know why. It feels wrong. I get contouring is not the biggest thing anymore, but y'all know I have loved this girl for years. Look how much pan is all over this palette. Love this. This is not going anywhere, but this is in my powder drawer, because this palette is how I start almost every single morning when I'm doing my makeup. This is definitely used. I still use these for contouring the nose and then maybe doing some of the lighter powders under the eyes. Not that there's much left. I'm gonna need the backup soon. But that's, you know, I use my products. I use my products and love them. So, you know, she's there. I was just gonna make a note of her. You saw her, but now she's staying, obviously, and her backup. So where do I go? Where do I start? Where do I begin? I think I'm gonna start this with something I know I'm gonna declutter, and it feels wrong, but I've had this one for a long time. Powders do tend to have a little bit longer of a lifespan, but I've not been using this, and I think it's because I've just found things that work better for me, but this is still a good product. So if you are a babe on a budget and you have oily skin and you need something in these hot summer months, I'm not telling you this isn't good. I'm just telling you I have other stuff that I'm using right now. And this one has aged out for me for a while. This is the Essence All About Matte Compact Powder. This is a very affordable, great powder if you are oily like me. This looks like a very white powder, doesn't it? Because it technically is. And don't let that scare you though, because it can melt into your makeup, onto your skin, and really dissipate, as you just saw right here. This will help you keep your makeup on. This will help you from having a lot of melting through the day. I know there's a lot of people loving cream makeup this kind of like season of makeup because it's more that clean girl look. However, I have to tell you, as an oily skin girl, first of all, I still love my powders. Obviously, that's always my thing. But if you are using cream products, if you're oily, you need a powder to help you. And this can be one that will help you out a lot just to kind of keep your stuff together. I haven't used this in a long time though, I think because it does have a touch of a white cast. Not a ton. I've kind of, as you've seen, have evolved to such a large collection that this one has just kind of gone to the back burner for me. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. Whew, starting off with the declutter. Has that ever happened? I don't really know. Another love, I've told you guys, and some of you let me know recently you've now been trying these products because you've been loving them too, because you've been so curious, because I won't shut up about some of these. This is my CoverGirl Advanced Radiance Powder. I clearly use these up. This is like, I don't know, my 10th or 11th of my life. I use these all the time with the puff, with a brush. This is a great creamy drugstore formula, great for under the eyes, down the nose, or setting up your whole face for success for the day. I love this, travels super well. Definitely keeping this, and I'm going to use this up. But there is a newer baby to my collection because I wanted to try one of the new clean, fresh lines from the CoverGirl kind of new summer line. I don't think it's their summer line. I think it's just the way makeup is. It's that fresh, clean girl vibe. So a lot of people have been loving seeing something like that. And I do think this is a pretty good powder. I've tested it now with full faces of makeup, lighter makeup, with the puff, with a brush, and while I still love my Advanced Radiance more, and I do, and I'm going to keep saying that, I think this does have a space for me right now, so I'm going to keep using it. It is newer to my collection. I'm still testing it through the hot summer months to really give you the full, thorough, investigative research. So this I'm going to be hanging on to and continuing to use. So I've been trying this Fab Looks powder. This actually looks very similar. Just dropped the little sponge here. Looks very similar to the Essence All About Matte powder. And I think it actually does work very similarly. It definitely blends into the skin, maybe even a little bit better. This is an indie brand. I did notice a little bit of white cast with it, but nothing terrible. I think it was good, especially I think I got it last summer when I was again trying to prevent the makeup from running all over my face, but I've not reached for it. It's not something that I've been using regularly or even thinking of in a pinch when I'm like needing something to keep my oily, bossy, bored skin at bay. So this is something that I think I've just not been loving as much, so it's okay to declutter it. I feel good about it. I didn't talk about this one too much on my channel because my husband got it for me as a gift, not knowing that it wasn't 100% cruelty-free. It does claim to be cruelty-free on their website, but when you do more of the digging, it's not exactly. It is the Dior powder. This is the Dior Backstage Body and Face Powder. No powder, as you can see, I really do think this is a quality powder. I've hit pan on it. I'm going to use it up because it is a really good powder. I think it smooths everything on the face. It can really correct some makeup. It's good for a midday pinch when you need to kind of bring everything back together. I still really feel like this is a pressed version of another powder you know I love. Hold on. I didn't plan to talk about this one yet, but I'm going to because I feel like these are very similar. This is my favorite Fenty Pro Filter Cashew Powder. This is so darn good. I wish they actually had more shades because every time I go into a Sephora or I'm shopping online, I look for the other shades you guys have told me about. I even bought a banana version of this. Hold on. Where is she? She's right here. I bought the banana version. Some of you guys have told me you love the lavender. There is one shade right below this. What is it? I have to look it up now because every time I've gone in there, it's been sold out. And I thought, well, maybe that'll be the perfect shade for me all year, but it's not. It's a little too pale for me. Let me look up the name. I'm sure you're yelling it at the screen if you use it. So cashew is the color I have 2 of because it's so good. There's banana. Some of you guys have liked honey. No, I've not tried lavender. Oh, butter. I was trying, I did some swatches of butter because that one is always sold out. That must be everyone's holy grail. I had a swatch tester at the store. I put it on my hand and it looked too pale on my hand. So I'm not sure if that would work for my face. I don't use the banana as much, I must say, but I do use the cashew a ton. The reason I even brought these up right now is because it reminds me of this, just in a loose form. So I'm going to use up my Dior powder. I do think it is a really, really good powder. P.S. Dior, go cruelty free. It would make everything a lot easier. And I didn't plan to talk about these Fenty Pro Filter powders right off the bat, but here we are. This formula is so good. If you love a powder, if you're someone who needs a great powder, this will smooth for you. This will be a great midday touch-up. This will give you a little bit of color. This will just make everything look really blurred, and that is why I really love these powders and continue to use them. Again, I have a backup of this because I got it on a sale, and I bought it when I was in a tiny house, when I had no backup place for storage things. So it's kind of like, you know, if I bought this while I was living in a tiny house as a backup, like, girl, you know it's good. You know it's good. I love these so much. In my quest to try more of my powders, I kind of forgot about this, but I was raving about this and you guys told me about it. This is the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Pressed Powder from number 7. Mine is in the shade medium because this is the only one they had. I think light would work better for me kind of throughout the year, but I really do like this. I think this color is going to work well for me this summer. I think it does a great job of blurring, kind of setting things down. I think a lot of people have said this is like a dupe for a Charlotte Tilbury powder that I've not gotten to try. Tell me your thoughts on that because I'm very curious. But this is something that I need to get back to using this summer because 1, it's the color I need it to be in the summertime. But 2, I really need to remind myself how I like this formula because you guys know I'm not scared of a deep declutter, as you have seen through this whole series here. And if it does work for me even better than these things, I need to know. Otherwise, I need to keep this beauty space tidy because I got a lot in here. And I want to bring in more stuff. I love trying new things. I want to see what works best. And I don't think this one does. And this one kind of hurts because I loved this brand for a long time. But for some reason, this powder is something I stopped using for a very long time. Kind of forgot about it. Got lost in the shuffle of all of those powders in there. And I know some of you guys really love it. It's some of y'all's favorite powders, and I'm feeling a certain kind of way about it because I know you guys love it, specifically some of you guys that I talk to all the time. But I don't think this worked for me. This morning I used this powder to kind of go under the eyes, set this part of my face immediately, and things were creasing. Like right now I don't love my under eye specifically because this powder made it crease so bad, and it just aged me right under here. I'm not loving today's powder, and it's partially due to this Bare Minerals powder. I'm sorry, I can already hear you saying, that's my favorite. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work for me. This is the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil. It's a loose setting powder, so maybe I shouldn't have put it under the eyes. It could be on me. However, I've also set my face with it. I do feel like it has a little bit more of a pink tint to it, so it does make my face look a little bit more pink tinted. That's something else that I've had to notice through this is what powders really just aren't going to match me, my undertones, things that just make things just off enough that I'm like, I don't like using that, but I can't really articulate why or pinpoint one thing. Sometimes it's just the coloration too. I just haven't been using this. I think there was a time I did I like this at some point, or have I always just been like, this isn't really working for me? But I held on to it because it was y'all's favorite. I do that sometimes because I'm like, I could be wrong. Just retry it. But I have so many things in here. If I'm not using it, I need to pass it on. Also, this is one of the few that is 12 months for an expiration, not 24 months, because some of these are 24 months. And I've had this for years now, so I also know that it has been probably 2.5, maybe 3 years since I got this in my collection. So that could be the problem too. So I need to just let it go. I'm sorry, please don't be mad at me. Please don't be mad. Man, some of these things in here I also bought thinking this is gonna be the next great powder for me, and it's definitely not. Some of it was something I thought was gonna just be okay, and then it became a favorite, and I can't rebuy it. I need to look it up right here while I'm talking to you. But who remembers my love affair with the AOA Perfect Compact Powder? This shade, Beige, from the AOA line, this is $1 and it's so good. But I mean, it's completely empty. You can see in there. It's got a few crumblies in here. That's why I'm not opening it up. But I've been holding on to this so I don't forget to reorder it. But it has been over a year that this has been completely unavailable. I mean, if it has been available at some point within the past year, I've not found it. I'm gonna look it up again on camera. Oh, yep, right as soon as I put in AOA, it says Shop Miss A pressed powder, because it's the thing I've been hunting for. Like every other month I'm looking for this powder, and they don't ever have it in my shade anymore, the beige. It's like they always have, do they have the translucent back? No, they still don't have the translucent back. This is $1, so good. It's like maybe I should never have spoken about it because now I can't find it. Is it available? Did I just find it on camera with you? I'm recording my screen because I don't even believe myself because it looks like it's a different page almost. Shop AOA Perfect Pressed Powder Beige. It says it's 72 cents, not $1. It's the Shop Miss A. I think this is the right website. Wait, is it actually here? The long-awaited, it's the Shop Miss A website. Oh my God. Add to cart. This is happening in the wild right now with you guys. I'm just like freaking out. I'm freaking out. It's still cycling. Why is it not going through? It says it's in my cart. Hold on. Before I can go forward, I need to see if I can purchase this powder because I've been talking about this powder and holding on to the body of the relic of the previous one forever. I did this video like 2 summers ago with AOA, the Shop Miss A line, the whole AOA line, and I was like, this is a powder is amazing. I love it. I love this powder. I gotta see if I can do this. Hold on. Hold, please. Hold. I should just buy 2. Why am I only buying 1? I should buy 2. What's happening? Can I buy? How many is it gonna let me buy? This is how bad things happen. Express shipping, $19 for a 72 cent. What's happening? Why is it $20 for shipping to make this powder $20? What? Hold on. Okay, update. I'm gonna have to give you guys an update in like a future video on if I end up getting this powder, because now when I'm trying to check out, it's saying sorry, our order amount cannot be less than $20 if you need to buy. So I'm gonna have to finish this video before I go on to this next thing, but maybe I can get this powder. I don't know, but I'm gonna let go of the empty vessel here and move on. Lorac. This is the soft rose powder. I believe I selected this maybe from like a choice item in a subscription box. I saw that this was a soft rose. I looked through all of the reviews. When choice items would happen with BoxyCharms and things like that, I was always doing a lot of digging into reviews to find out what I wanted to get best for my choice. And quite honestly, I was looking for a replacement at that time for, I love her. I think I still have one more backup of this, but this is a Becca product. This is the Becca Soft Light Blurring Powder. I have this in 2 different colors. This one here is the Pink Haze. I have been using this a lot since the humidity has been rising again. I also have the darker one. This one here is in the shade Golden Hour. As you can see, one is pink, one is golden, a little bit more warm toned. The Pink Haze is something I have loved for a super duper long time. I feel guilty even talking about her because, as we know, Becca is no more. And as soon as I found out Becca was leaving, I bought some backups of some of my favorite things that I was really worried about not being able to get anymore. These were some of the things. They are blurring. They are a nice touch of reflectiveness that gives your skin that healthy glow. It really brings all the makeup together. If you're maybe a little too orange toned because of a bronzer or some foundation issue, popping on some of this powder really like subdued it in a very subtle way that it made everything blend together, look gorgeous. This is a powder I don't want to rave about it too much because I'm so sad that you can't buy it, so I need to stop talking about it. but I was looking for a replacement because I knew Becca was going away at that time. These are in my collection, love them, keeping them. You saw them in the little overview, and they're staying. They're staying. I'm not sorry. I was hoping this would be a replacement so I could tell you that. I have this on today, and I also have on a few other things because it wasn't enough. This was not enough to compete with this. Do you know actually of a dupe for the Becca Soft Light Blurring Powder? If you do know of a dupe, let me know. I actually already have in here something you may be gonna say. Do you think that the e.l.f. is a dupe? I don't know. I have it in my collection. We'll talk in a minute. Hold that thought. Clearly, I have a lot in here. I have a lot. I wanted this Lorac powder to be my Becca Soft Light Blurring. I wanted the Soft Rose to be the saving grace because for some people, I think it was in the reviews, and that's why I selected it. But unfortunately for me, I don't think it is. I had to do a lot of extra work today to not look too cakey, honestly. I think it did not settle as well on my skin as I had hoped it would. And I noticed I've just not been reaching for this. This isn't something I gravitate to. It's not something I put on with any specific foundations or trust it to be a nice all over wash on the skin. So for me, this isn't something that's working great. I'm going to pass this on to a friend or family member because I don't think this one's expired. It has been a while. Powders can last a while. So this one I may see if a girlfriend wants. Yeah. Same with some of these other things in here. If they seem like they're still like within a good expiration time, they're not expired, I'll just pass them on to a friend or a family member because they are used. Okay, I liked this in theory, I think last summer. And I was really surprised by this. I got this in a subscription box that wasn't a BoxyCharm. I think in a Chic Beauty box. This is the Smashbox Halo Hydrating Perfecting Powder in light medium. I had to check. And it's one of those that has like a little sifter in it. So you like move the component around and more powder comes up here. It's a really cool concept. How do I word this powder? So it goes on, it started to look a little much because then I realized it says light medium, but it really oxidizes. Like on my finger, you'd be like, oh, that looks like it'd be a good match for you. Every time I've tried to wear it, all of a sudden my face gets more orange and more orange. I tried it, I think this past week, and I couldn't believe how quickly my face warmed up and it didn't start looking like that. So I was like, ooh, this oxidizes quite a bit, but I liked the end result last summer. So I was like, wait, I need to wait it out a little bit more. I ended up using the Becca powder to diffuse the orangeness. Because like I said, sometimes a nice blurring pink toned powder can kind of make everything come back down and not be as orangutan orange. You don't want to be like looking like a fruit juice or nothing. Even on my finger, it's oxidizing more and more. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I can tell in person it's looking more and more orange as it kind of like gets on the skin, warms up. I'm sure gets a little bit more oxidized. It just gets more and more orange. And then it wasn't looking as clean as I thought it did. It was looking a little bit cakey. It does, if you have the right color, I don't know, it says light medium though. It says light medium. I don't know. I thought I liked it last summer, but I've not reached for it. I tried it again. I didn't even like how it looked on my skin. I think the Becca actually is what saved it to make it look smooth. I don't know. I think this area is my trouble area on my face where things can look a little bit more crepey, a little bit more like my pores are popping through. And this didn't let that happen, so I was probably liking it for those reasons. But it just isn't working for me. It makes me look way too orange. Then I have to put on more and more powders, and that's not fun, especially when we're doing this clean girl phase. So I don't know if I have any friends that go that orange. To think about this one, but yeah, I'm gonna declutter her. e.l.f. e.l.f. the Halo Glow. This is something that I've heard people rave about a lot, and also what I'm wearing today to try to fix the Lorac, because I have on, yeah, you heard me right, today I have on 3 different powders, and some of you in the comments are going to be being like, well, that's your problem. Listen, I know my face, I have an oily skin, I tend to do some powders, set things down with a setting spray, and then I kind of move on with stuff so that way it's all already melded with one. And I know what works for me and what doesn't work for me, and I've had these in my collection for a really long time, so I've had to try them in multiple ways. But the e.l.f. is what saved my face today. The e.l.f. is what saved my face because these weren't working. I normally would have just done maybe just these 2, but I was really disappointed with how this had made my face look, the Bare Minerals, and then I thought, well, maybe I could save it with the Lorac. That didn't happen, didn't go well. But again, haven't loved these or used these in months and months prior to this testing either. So it's another reason I'm decluttering them. But the e.l.f. is what brought it all back together for me and gave me some luminosity to the skin. It made everything look like it's good again, plus the setting spray. This is something that I think some people have said is like a nice dupe for a higher end Laura Mercier powder. So you know what? We may be testing that because I don't know if I've ever done a head-to-head with this and the Laura Mercier before, but yes, I have them in my collection. I feel like maybe once years ago I may have done that, but I really don't remember. But this is what I'm wearing today, and I feel like this is a great product. e.l.f. is so good, way more affordable than our friends at Laura Mercier. Now, the way this transpired in my collection is I have two. I have a full size and a mini, but they're the different types, and they were birthday presents. So this is the translucent loose setting powder in the glow. This is the big guy. This was one of my regrets that I've talked about because I got this one for my birthday, and that's the time when everyone was raving about the glow. But as someone with oily skin and bossy pores, I feel like this was maybe not something I was hoping it was going to be for my skin. I think, really wanting something like the Becca that I love, that really blends it all together, puts it in one. This gets to be a little too much for me. This almost looks like a highlighter on my skin sometimes if I'm not careful. In the winter, I feel like I can pull out the Laura Mercier glow, the translucent glow, more so than I can in the summertime. Then I have the Laura Mercier translucent in just like the regular, which is probably more if I could reverse these. This is the size I would have switched it to because that's something that I could use far more often on my skin type. And these are very pricey brands. So that's why it'd be interesting to put these up against each other this summer maybe and see which one does a better job. Because like I said, I can use the e.l.f. in the summer now. I mean, this is fine for me. So I'm curious. Now that maybe I've kind of gotten through some of my skin issues, maybe I should try this summer. I feel like I don't use these as much as I should. That's another truth of this declutter. I feel like I don't use these pricier ones as much as I should. And this one is one I've even said is my regrets. The glow version of the translucent. Having thoughts. Should I declutter it? I want to use it. I want to use it again. And then see if I need to declutter her. So I'm going to hang on to it for now. Stay tuned. Be subscribed. All right, speaking of AOA, I do have their setting powder. This is the Shop Miss AOA Perfect Setting Powder. The compact I clearly used up. This, I was retrying it, trying to remember why wasn't I using this? Why is this just not top of my brain to use? The short answer to that is I really don't know, other than sometimes you gravitate to something because it's so good, you're like, I need more of that. I don't even know how to articulate it or what that one thing was, but I need it again. Or maybe I'll notice the blurring or the way it sets and smooths. This, I didn't notice anything fantastical like I did the pressed powder, and I have so many loose powders that I'm like, this kind of fell off my radar. This isn't something that even stood out to me again. It says it's a brightening powder on the back of it. So I have tried it. It was fine. It was good, but it wasn't anything to write home about. And I have so many that I think I'm going to pass this one on and see if I have someone like a friend that would love it. Still mad about that compact and that whole shipping thing for 20 bucks because I want more of that powder, but I don't want to spend 20 bucks on shipping. Guys, we're like halfway through my powders and I'm already having to stretch because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. I'm not gonna lie, some of this I'm on the fence about too, because some stuff already came into this video knowing after doing my recent investigative, checking out my face throughout the day, seeing what looks cakey, what looks smooth, what looks blurred. Some of it I'm just like, dadgummit, I don't know. Some of it I thought I was gonna hate, and it actually did a better job than I remembered. This is the Anastasia powder. This is her translucent loose setting powder. For some reason I thought I didn't like this, and then I tried it again and I was like, oh, no, it sets underneath the eyes fine. It sets powder well. I think because it's a white powder, it makes me go, ooh, this is gonna give me a white cast. And it really doesn't. This really melts into the skin, does a really good job. Every time I've tried it, it's been great. I think it's just because it's had to be moved so far back into my beauty space because I had too many that I would push it to the back and I was like, oh, anything out of sight or pushed to the back clearly can't be good. This is actually pretty good, and I think I would miss it if I didn't have it in because I have been reaching for this since I knew this was coming. I've been kind of wanting to pull this one back out. Along with something else that I really kind of thought maybe I didn't like it too for similar reasons, but it's also really expensive. Viseart, I knew I loved their eyeshadows, but I did not remember loving their powder. And I also like this little sifter in here. It makes it super easy. Did you just see that waft of powder come right out? This is also really good for setting under the eyes. I mean, sometimes you forget that sometimes when you just need to set underneath your eyes, because I've been using my CoverGirl for so long, sometimes you forget there are other things out there that you're like, oh yeah, this is very simple, very clean, very easy, doesn't leave a white cast, kind of keeps the skin malleable, ready to go, no crepiness. I've also set all over the face with this too. Just when you get too many powders, you kind of forget what was so great. You know, it's funny, I just asked Google 2 hours ago, when was it gonna rain? And it said there was no rain today. Can you hear the rain? It is now absolutely raining. It's okay, we press on. So, and since I film in front of natural light, it may get a little darker here. Sorry, guys. I was surprised that I liked this Viseart as much as I did because I've just been such a drugstore junkie for a while with my powders that sometimes I forget. But this is actually a really nice powder as well for setting. I usually just go right underneath the eyes for kind of just like baking underneath the eyes a little bit or just kind of getting the creases completely at bay with this. Wish I would have used this today instead of the Bare Minerals because that did not do a good job. Now, I thought I liked this powder more, but then I've been retrying it, and I don't like this high-end powder as much as I liked the Anastasia and Viseart. This is the Too Faced Born This Way, and I think I went through this phase of really liking this Too Faced powder because I also really liked their under eye concealer. I'm actually wearing it today. It's really good. This is a powder that has a little lid on the front, which I think that's so nice because loose powders are so messy, and that's one thing I didn't like about loose powders for a super long time was how messy I feel like they can be. So I have used this. I think this is better across the face than it is under the eyes. I don't think I'm ready to get rid of it yet because it is still a quality powder, but maybe it's just not as good as I remember it being. I think I just had this one on my pedestal higher if you had to ask me without retrying these which ones were better. I thought this one was, but I think it's an okay powder. But is it worth spending a lot of money if you don't have it? No, I don't think so. There's some other things out there that you could get. I keep avoiding talking about this one because I am back and forth on if I want to keep it or not. It's something I recently brought back into my beauty space. And it's something that I used to love a lot. And I know some of you guys have told me this is a great brand. Now the sun's coming back out. The Wet n Wild. I keep going back and forth about this. This is the loose setting powder from Wet n Wild. I recently brought her back into my beauty space because she's cruelty-free 100% now. And I was really excited about it. I've not been in love with it. I've not been in love with how it sits on my skin. I've not been in love with the finish. Then I go back and forth and I'm like, was that the foundation? Was that this or that? This is the one that I literally keep struggling with and don't know what to say. Half of me wants to be like, you still have so much makeup, Nichole, that you want to use. It's okay to pass this on and get rid of it. But then the other half of me goes, but did you give it a long enough try? So I'm going to set this to the side at the moment. This is a maybe. I told you powders were going to be hard for me. I'm so sorry. You're probably on the other end of this being like, girl, it's just a powder. You clearly have enough. I know, but it feels so personal because I wanted this to be what I remembered it being in my head. But my skin has changed, you know? It's been quite a few years since I reintroduced this. Oh my gosh, I'm still pulling out more powders to talk to you guys about. And darn it to heck, if I didn't find more face palettes in this same drawer.
It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
I have a love affair with this powder to the point I want to discover more of the Real Her powders. This Blurring Veil from Real Her. This is the Set Your Goal blurring powder. When I tell you, if you have skin like me, I think you should get this. I mean it. I traveled with this, and I'm not someone that likes to travel with loose powders, honestly, because I feel like, oh, it's so messy. You don't know if you're going to have a vanity at the hotel you're staying at. I was on a work trip in December when it is cold, and by cold I mean I flew back to the Midwest where I'm from for a work family trip kind of thing, and I knew my skin was gonna go through the motions. This powder, people literally asked me, did you get Botox before you came here? And I was like, no, but thank you for thinking I did. This powder is a blurring powder. It's got just enough luminosity blur formula to it. Don't even ask me the science behind it because I don't know. It's witchcraft. It's amazing. It gives you a little bit of reflectiveness, but not too much. It's kind of like, where'd she go? The e.l.f. Halo Glow but a little bit more blur, a little bit more oomph to her, that it just looks so good. It made my whole face look like it was glowing. This is something you don't need highlighter with, especially with the way makeup is. It just gives you that healthy, youthful, clean girl glow. Maybe that's why I'm loving this, because that's kind of where the makeup has gone lately, but it gives you a little bit of coverage too. I love this. This is so darn good. Blurring veil, love it. I want to try more from this line. Keeping it, keeping it, keeping it. Some of these things I want to kind of put up ahead, like head to head, and see like, how does this go against this? What is this? This is a Rare Beauty product, and I think this is for, oh yeah, for blotting. Got this in a like Luxe box or something from BoxyCharm, because this puff has like built-in powder. There's no powder in here. It's like built-in powder for like, you know, those oily moments where you just need a little something. Okay. Kind of forgot about this. And then the blotting papers. The thing is about something like this, it's really cute. It's got a mirror, super convenient. This would be something great on the go, but it's huge. It's a huge pill. And I've kind of gotten away the past year from carrying bigger bags, which used to be my whole jam. I used to carry big bags all the time and could see myself putting this big guy in a purse and just carrying it with me all the time. Since moving over here to St. Pete, where we're kind of more of like a beach town over here, I've wanted less. I want to carry less. And when I have the dogs with me, I don't want a purse over my shoulder. So I just have one of those little like over the strap or across the body bags. That's like a little bit of a backpack kind of vibe. And it's really small. So this would take up the whole thing. So I've not been using this. How long are these good for? Because it's like, how long could something be in this puff? I don't even know. I feel like this is an okay thing to keep here in my beauty space though, in case I need it for the blotters. Sometimes I'll need a little bit for if I'm filming. I don't know. I'm gonna hang on to this though, because this is really convenient. Good for travel. I haven't used it in a long time though. But maybe if I clean this out, I'll use some of these things more. That's another thing about declutters. I don't think I talked about these in my palette declutter, and I feel like they're sitting in front of me. I should just talk about them. This is the Cocoa Infused Contouring and Highlighting Palette from Too Faced. We went through a phase with subscription boxes where we got a lot of the same stuff over and over again, meaning a lot of face palettes. So it was really hard. Oh, this smells good. It was really hard at that time to keep up. And then they'd be like, yeah, we'll use them, and then we'll get another one, and then we'll get another one. I don't use face palettes a lot anymore. That is the honest to goodness truth. And I'm sitting here looking at some of these colors though and being like, oh, this would be good for a nose contour. But I haven't. I've not been using it. I've been beating the pan out of this guy. Also, it's a lot more convenient to store where I keep it to remind myself to use it versus this big chunky guy that has no room in my drawer. So, smells good though. This is where I sit here and stare at something for a while and go, face palettes are just something I don't spend money on anymore either, simply because of this reason. I don't use them. They're not top of mind. I prefer individual pieces. Palettes had a moment there for quite a while in the makeup community, and now it's just kind of something that we don't really talk or think about anymore. How long does this have? It says it has 12 months. I've spent the last, 10 minutes looking up previous videos where I talk about this, because I really haven't touched it in so long, and I actually liked it. So I'm literally making myself use some of it right now, because I was like, oh, I need some touch-ups. My lipstick went a little crazy around the edges, so I'm just using the lighter. Just kind of seeing how does it do. It is a bit older, that's for sure, because the video I'm watching where I used this was from 2 years ago on Halloween. The other palette I have here is the Cover FX, and who remembers this amazing powder in here that I have hit pan on? It's so good. I feel like this is the showstopper for this whole palette, and the only reason I'm sitting here considering keeping it for this piece. Yes, I could pop this out probably pretty easily. What I like about this powder is it's got these nice reflective properties, and from what I understand, they never actually sold this separately, which is such a missed opportunity. Because it is that good. Yes, I'm putting more powder on my powder. Something is wrong with me. I always need more powder. I'm gonna put these three aside at the moment because I'm struggling. I'm truly struggling with these three. So let's talk really quickly about the All Nighter from Urban Decay. This is a waterproof setting powder. This is really, really good in the summer. And I like this shade here. What is this shade? Does it even say on the back? It doesn't. Do they even have a shade name? Probably not. I've had the same one for a while, and I feel like this does a really good job of being that like August, July, summer, melting in the sun under the hot Florida sun vibes. This will save some makeup. It'll also help your sunglasses from like giving you that huge indent in your makeup when you are wearing makeup through the day in the summer, because we still like to do that. This is a really great powder for that. So keeping that. I only got a small one of these to try it, and I do like it, but this is the Tarte Double Duty. This is a little guy that I also like to use under the eyes and on the face. This is actually a great powder to travel with in this mini size too, because it does a little bit of everything for you, and it's just a little tiny guy. Didn't get the full one, and I'm okay with that because I still have some in here, and I clearly have a lot of powder. I like this, so I want to keep this one too. Okay, I gotta do something here. I gotta make some cuts, because let's see. How many have I decluttered?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Actually, getting rid of 7 powders is nothing to sneeze at, and I need to be mindful of that. But I do need to make some decisions, because some of these things have been in here for a long time. I wasn't planning on going through palettes today, but then I opened the drawer and saw them there, and I'm like, hey, you gotta face the music. Okay. You know what? I seem to remember putting these up against each other and still obviously preferring this. You saw the pan on it. I need to get rid of this. I need to let it go, even though it looks nice, and it does look like it's still smoothing over here on the hand. Like, that's a pretty decent swatch. I have not been reaching for it. I've had her for years. Also, I seem to remember these not doing as well under the eyes. This not lasting as long as the Tarte, which is why the Tarte won. I need to just trust my instincts, trust my experience in the fact that I've had this in my beauty space for forever, and it needs to go. Also, I've probably had this for, I mean, the video I did was 2 Halloweens ago, so I probably even had this longer. Yeah, I just need to let it go. I need to let it go. I need to let it go. Well, that was hard. I'm looking at this going, I remember loving this palette. I remember thinking it was amazing. I like the contoury bronzer-ish thing. I think it is just called contour here. It is. I know I could live without all of these pieces, because I have. I really liked this powder. Let me just, you know what, I'm going to see about it. I don't even like doing this usually. But hold on, let me just try something. Do we think she's hard to pop out? That's what I need to find out. I can see the pan. I can see the pan on the edge, so I'm just trying to figure out what tool could maybe help me get this out without totally ruining it. I'm in, hold on. It's like surgery. Ugh, the butter knife blade is too big. All right, I'm just trying to pop this out. I might be getting it. I might be getting it. I also forget about things that are in palettes because they're not top of mind. They're not, I'm breaking the powder. They're not the thing I use. If they would sell this powder individually, did they? I heard they never did. Have I been misinformed? Oh man, I'm breaking it. I am breaking this baby up now. It is just not happening. I don't think I'm getting it out of here, at least not at this moment on camera. So if I can get this powder out, I will take the powder out and try to use it separately, because I keep forgetting about it being in here. If I can't, I may just have to let this go, because I'm just breaking the powder. I'm not using it in there. It's defeating the purpose of hanging on to something that just sits in my drawer and I don't use. What's the point? If I'm not keeping it to use it, what's the point? So I'm going to try to get that out. So that's 2 more things decluttered. So I've decluttered 9 things. This would be my 10th if I decluttered it, but is that just because I wanted a nice round number? What am I actually going to use this? Am I going to use this in comparison to these other things that I've been trying and liking? I know some of you guys love this too, and that's, again, another reason that I'm like, well, your friends love it and they're smart. I'll hang on to her for now because she is newer. I need to see how she does through the summer. But if she doesn't start performing the way I like, I may do a mid in-between declutter. I may just have to let you know. Very, very quickly, I'm going to go through some brow things and let you know what I'm going to declutter. I won't go through every little thing because I feel like this video might already be too long. But I need to pull out some things that I know I've been waiting to declutter for this series. I love me some Brow Bar by Rima. Definitely using these up. Definitely loving my Joa pencil. I've learned I'm really not liking these bigger brow products that are more large and crayon-y, because I feel like they're just too difficult to work with in the brow. they kind of make it too bulky up front and then the whole thing goes crazy. So even though I do like Billion Dollar Brows and I like using this more microblading pen, I'm gonna hang on to the microblading pen and get rid of these bigger triangular pieces because I don't like them. This is another thick one from Billion Dollar Brows. I found I wasn't really using it as much. So anything that's really thick, I'm just gonna get rid of these because they've been in my collection for a while and I'm not reaching for them. I prefer these smaller tip pencils like this ColourPop one. I feel like there's not a ton in here for its own video either. Oh, something else from the AOA line that I did use up was this AOA Shop Miss A thin tipped pencil, the dark brown one. Really liked it, used it up, there's nothing left. Saving that for this video, I guess. Ooh, the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I forgot all about this little guy. I bought several of them, used them up, but it's been a while, so I think this one's definitely dead, but I would maybe get that one again. This is the Essence Like a Boss. This is the ink brow gel. This could get crazy. Guys, if you have a steady hand and if you can clean it off, it does a pretty decent job, but she's also very, very inky. Very, very inky, and it can get a splotch on your brow that just lasts and lasts and lasts. So you gotta be really, really careful with this particular one. You really have to. I don't think that makes me get rid of it, but be careful. I also just need to declutter. I have a lot from Merit. Some of these are older. Let's see here. So this one is the newer one. This is the brown volumizing pomade. I have some that are older I just need to get rid of. Those are okay. I don't mind those. They are very, very natural. And my brow, I need a little bit more width. And this from Merit is, I also have a neutral one as well that I don't really use, so I'm gonna declutter that. I have an older Brow Bar by Rima, also the microblading tip. I really loved this, but this is dried out. Also older, so I'm gonna get rid of that. We gotta clean out the stuff. You know, we can't keep the things that are expired. I apparently have an older Anastasia Beverly Hills pencil here in caramel that's too light for my brows now, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. Aw, this is so old. This is the original packaging for the Winky Lux Universal Brow Pencil, also a triangular tip. I really loved this, and I used this for a lot of different things, but it's definitely old. It's in their old packaging. Need to let it go. That was a diehard for me, so that was like a moment. I think I have a, what is this? Brow Bar by Rima. Is this their brow gel? I think this might be their brow gel. I have a newer one still in packaging. Yeah, same thing. I have a newer one in packaging still, so I'm just gonna get rid of this old one. Just cleaning house now. We gotta get rid of the old stuff. We're just kind of cleaning house, tidying up, and I still popped into this from time to time. This is my Tanya Crooks Convertible Brow 02. This was, guys, this goes back for me. This is like an OG product from BoxyCharm when I started my channel. You guys, how old is this? It says it's good for 12 months. I'm having feelings. I started my channel almost 7 years ago now. So I think I probably got this within the first year of having my channel. I know it's a powder and I was still using it and it was fine, but I've gotten so many things. I kind of need to let go of some stuff that it might hurt a little bit, but it's at the bottom of this little caddy here. So it's not needed. I've got other kits that I'm using up, and I think I even still have more in my backup drawer that are these that I love, so it's okay to let go of stuff. I'm such a nostalgic soul that sometimes that's hard, but it's okay. It's okay to let it go. It's okay. I'm telling myself. Is anybody still using a dip brow pomade? I just found my ABH dip brow pomade here at the very bottom in the shade dark brown. Yeah, she's dry. Well, if you press in there, you can get some. It's been a long time since I've used this. Oh, it's got a 6-month lifespan. Definitely been opened and used as well. I'm sure some of these things, you know, that's the recommendation to get rid of, but I've not used a pomade in a long time. Kind of makes my brows a bit more chunky, so I'm just gonna let this one go too. Who am I? Like half of me was like, oh no, you should keep it. There's still so much in there, but yeah, I've had this for a long time, probably over a year. Tidy this all back up here. Now comes the creative fun part of putting things back in here and seeing how does it all fit? How much room is there about to be? I don't even know. You guys, this is crazy. I'm sitting here looking at how much real estate I have in this drawer now, and I almost feel like I could even maybe change out my caddies that are holding all of my powders, or even maybe consider rearranging my makeup, because I think, have I gone through every single category of my makeup right now with you guys and really shown you? Because I have done the foundations, concealers, the primers, the eyeshadow palettes. That was a 2-part video. Then there was the blushes and the contours and the bronzers and the blushes. I mean, here I feel like have I gone through everything with you? This feels crazy because I almost feel like as I've been bringing more stuff in with subscription boxes and my own shopping, as you've seen, I've already been like, I'm not loving this, or ooh, I've tested this, I'm not sure I feel about it. So I'm just now sitting here going, do I need to do like a whole beauty room organization? Like, get it all back to like where it makes the most sense for usage, how I'm using things. Because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the beauty room can feel a little overwhelming, and I want to get it tidy. I can't believe just removing how much that was. How many, I decluttered 9 things here. So I'm going to be seeing what friends want what, if I can get that powder out. I've got a lot of things here that I'm getting rid of, and I'm pretty excited about it, actually. It always feels better after a declutter, because it's kind of like now I can see what I love, see what I want to use, and pass things on to other people. Do you guys want to see me kind of maybe reorganize this beauty space as I'm trying to go through it now that I've decluttered quite a bit of things now? Let me know in the comments below. I have a lot of videos coming for you guys this summer. I am super duper excited about it. And thank you so much to Cupshe for sponsoring a portion of today's video. If you do happen to be new, hi new friends, I really hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on the upcoming videos to come. I have so much coming, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.